How's it going, everybody? I was gonna do a video on something that I'd given some shout outs to some people a while back and removed the video because of the specifics weren't ironed out, and I didn't want things to change and things to be totally different than what they were in the video, so I took it down. So I wanted to go ahead and shout a few people out again, and some more people that I've added to the list. So I'm gonna go ahead and shout some people out. Then I might show you a couple things. Mr. Michael White, I think they call him Old Timer, always in the comments. I enjoy reading the comments, and I really appreciate all the comments and the good energy and the good vibes that people leave in the comments. That's really appreciated. Rock, as always, I noticed the other day he's still doing some giveaways and stuff for Valerie and Scott. So go check his stuff out. I think he's got, was it 2 tomahawks? I think he was giving away. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check him out. Journey North, really good guy. Lives up in Alaska. He lives a minimalist. I guess you would call it minimalist. You kind of have to be minimalist in Alaska because access to running water and all that kind of stuff is hard to come by. So he's got some cool content over there, especially his cooking videos are really interesting. I enjoy watching those. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely go check him out. Mr. Ken, the guy whose saw blew up. Woo! I got a speaker over here and I accidentally touched it to the plug. There's a lot of feedback. But Mr. Ken, he's bought a bunch of saws and he's slowly trying to get them back going again. So he had some 925s apart the other day and was looking at them, and somebody done a serious alteration on it, and definitely go check it out. Silky Steve, he's over there in Sweden. He's got a lot of I talk to him on Instagram a lot. He's got a pretty decent Instagram and YouTube channel, so definitely go check him out. He does a lot of stuff. He's got a beautiful homestead over there in Sweden. Oh, by the way, if you see this, I have a NOS 621 buck and spike you asked for. So I'm gonna try to get that stuff packed up and get you a quote. I'll get with you on Instagram, or get with me on Instagram whenever you see this. Life of Curtis, he's pretty busy over there doing some cool things. If you're a John Sered buff, or there was another guy, it was his term, he called us John Sered junkies. He grew up with John Sered. He's got some really cool John Sereds over there, even a 910. So go check him out. He's doing some really cool things. Chris Liggett, Tree Fellow, he's in the comments a lot. Really nice guy. uh, you know, good vibes. He's got some content, some tree removals over there on his channel. I think he's a climber. So if you're into the tree removals and climbing and stuff, definitely go check him out. He's a pretty cool guy. Indiana Doug. He was commenting on my videos, and then I had talked to him once or twice on Facebook, and then he found me on Instagram and was pretty stoked that I was on Instagram as well. So I've talked with him quite a bit. He's a really cool guy. I don't know if he has anything on his channel or not, but I appreciate him and all the positivity that he puts out. Mr. Pat from Pat Saw and Winch, if you haven't checked him out yet, you definitely need to go over there and check him out. He's doing some porting videos and stuff. Mr. Harvey, Iron Horse, talked him into making a channel. He doesn't have a whole bunch on it yet, but definitely go over there, check him out. If you like it, subscribe. Pay it forward. He seems like he's going to have a pretty neat channel, so definitely go check it out. Mr. Bill Block. That is a very intelligent guy there. He's got a very unique personality. I enjoy watching his videos. And they pulled off one of the most ingenious things I've ever seen. They had a Briggs & Stratton flywheel stuck, and they poured hot water on it. Well, I'm not going to give it away. You go watch it. The video, I think, is Stuck Briggs & Stratton Flywheel or something like that. Go check him out and tell me that that's not the most ingenious thing you've ever seen. Because I know if I ever run into that situation, I'm going to do the same thing, because it's ingenious. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's also really they have really hardwood over there, and he explained something in one of his videos that I never even thought, the idea never even crossed my mind, about why stringy bark trees are so difficult to cut. I'm not going to give that one away either. I want y'all to go watch it, and you'll get an idea of why Australian hardwoods are so difficult to cut. They're much more difficult, and they're much harder than anything over here in the U.S., aside from some of your harder stuff like some of your ashes. Hard maple is getting up there. Hickories and what do they call it? Sage. I think they call it sage or hedge. It's hedge, or Osage orange. Hedge is very hard to cut, and mesquite. Mesquite is very hard to cut. So, there's some olives out in Arizona or something like that, and they're really difficult to cut too, if I'm not mistaken. So, I just wanted to shout a few people out. Everyone that's in the comments that I didn't get to, and that's in the comments a lot. I really appreciate y'all, and I read all of them. And just keep up the positivity, and I'll eventually get around to thanking you. So I think that's it for the shout outs, but I was gonna show y'all, what was I gonna show you? Oh, these screwdrivers that I found. I ordered these from Amazon. and I just wanted to show them to you. So they have this large triangular handle, which is really nice for torquing. It gives you a nice ledge to get leverage on when you're twisting. The steel seems to be really good, and these are probably 12-inch shank on these. You get a set of the flatheads and the Phillips, and they just feel really good in your hands. There's the Phillips head one, P2. And then you also get another set of like 12-inch shank, but they're thinner, a little smaller. Pretty neat. And then, you know, it goes on down the list. Then I also picked up a set of these Eklund T-handles without the little teeth on the end of it, because I can't hardly stand the little teats they put on the end of them now. I mean, they have their place, don't get me wrong. They do. They have their place. But I'll show you why I don't like them. Let's see if I can get that to focus. No, probably not. See almost how rounded off that little teeth is now? So as soon as that little teeth rounds off, it'll start stripping your fasteners. Personally, for me, if you buy a set of these, don't use them unless the scenario calls for it. And the scenario is if you can't get a traditional Allen head straight into the fastener, then use one of these, because that's what it's made for. That little teat slips into the socket and allows you to get a grip at an angle to break it loose or tighten it up. So if you're not in that scenario, I wouldn't use these. I've stripped out, or almost stripped out, a many a fastener with these things, and I'm about tired of them. So I got a good set of these Eklunds here that comes in metric and SAE. Here's the SAE standard right here. 5/32. Which those two are the ones that are used the most. 5/32 and 4mm for fasteners, and the T27 for steel fasteners. Let's see. I'll let you look at what I got going on here. This is going to be my assembly desk, or assembly bench. I'm going to put a mat down, an anti-slip mat that'll that I can assemble on. Try to keep this wood as nice as possible. There's the full set of those. They're called Tecton, and they seem to have a pretty good rubber overmolding there. Here's my rims. These are your smaller drive here, 3/8 and 325. This is the 404 rims, and this is my 3/8 rims. My trusty, I use that more than anything there. My pull rope. I have this speaker that I've had forever. That's what I hook my phone up to for the tunes. I got my charger over here now. My torches and my brazing set up. My paint gun there. Some fasteners and stuff over there. This is where I'll port, and y'all have seen my porting set up before. Here's where I moved my disassembly bench. Essentially, the disassembled saws go there, and there are parts down there in the parts bins. The 262, you'll see that probably Friday, and then a couple other things that I'm working on over there. 038, but yeah, I still got all the boxes and stuff here. So I'm gonna be still got some more cleaning to do, but as far as being able to sit here and talk to you, this is a pretty neat little pretty good little setup, I think. I smashed my finger the other day. That 880 has that, I told you, it was a trolling motor handle on it. It's solid plastic, and I tried to pull it while it was down on the ground with my right hand, and it just doesn't. You can't start it that way. It'll jerk out of your hand every time almost, and it jerked out of my hand and hit my ring finger on my right hand, and it swole up really bad yesterday. I didn't even think it was that bad until that night, or day before yesterday, is when it happened. I didn't think anything of it until I started seeing it bleeding into my cuticle, and then I saw it spreading, and then it started throbbing a little bit, and then it kept me up most of the night. And then when I woke up, the entire nail was black. It had bled all night, and my finger swole up. A couple times I brushed up against it and almost hit my knees. It hurt so bad. So I finally had all I could take, and last night before New Year's, I come out here to the shop and got my propane torch and this paper clip and burn a hole through the nail down into the nail bed to release all that pressure, and it's doing a lot better today. It's built a little pressure up, mainly because the hole I burnt scabbed up, so it's filling back up with fluid. So I may or may not burn another hole in it. I ain't figured it out. I ain't decided yet. If that ever happens to you and you try to and you're gonna burn a hole in it, be sure to use a paper clip. The metal that the paper clip is made out of conducts heat really well, stays really hot for a long time, and it really does a good job melting through your nail. So I would stick with that, because I tried something else and it didn't work very well. So anyway, I just wanted to pop in for a little while. Yep, y'all get 2 videos in one day. So hope everyone's had a happy new year. And you know, I send you all blessings in 2020 and hope y'all have a prosperous year. So see y'all later.